You've just stepped into the Midlife Revolution Unleashed, your space to ignite possibility, redefine purpose, and embrace the power that comes with age and experience. Co-hosted by yours truly, Coach Wayne.
And I'm Coach Stacy M. Lewis. We are two seasoned coaches focused on the midlife community of color. This isn't just a podcast, it's a movement. In a world that sometimes forgets the power and the wisdom that comes with age, we are here to ignite a revolution and rewrite the narrative of this incredible journey.
So, whether you're navigating your career, growing your business, rediscovering passions, or challenging the status quo, this is your space. So, buckle up. Let's dive into the Midlife Revolution Unleashed. Hey! It's New Year's Eve, folks, and welcome to another episode, the last of the 2025-2024 series. And we are headed into a new year come this tomorrow. And this is Midlife Revolution Unleashed. I am your co-host along with Coach Stacy M. Lewis. I am co-host Wayne Dawson, and I work with men of color to help them navigate midlife so that their second half can be their best half. Stacy, how are you?
Wayne, I am so great today. It is hard to believe that we are at the end of 2024. We are wishing all of our fellowship and viewership a beautiful New Year's Eve celebration. And more importantly, a 2025 where you are thriving. I am Coach Stacy M. Lewis. I'm also a nonprofit executive, a lover of God and his people, and I'm just so excited to be here with my co-host. We have had such a fantastic year. This has been the year of our podcast. We started back in February of 2024, and we are just so excited to still be here and to be moving forward and to be sharing value with our community. So I'm as you can tell, I'm a little bit excited, not just about 2024 coming to a close, but really thinking about all of the richness and the blessings and the gifts, despite the hard times that we have received, and really looking forward to 2025.
Stacy, I wanted to make today a very special show. So on my way into the office today, the studio office, I stopped at Walmart, even though I'm about to stop shopping there altogether for other reasons. But anyway, and I was going to bring some fireworks to the show today. But,
okay.
But my wife told me, please, no fireworks in the house. So we have to create our own fireworks today, Stacy, and go off on the show.
Okay. Let's do it. I mean, I didn't know about the fireworks. We could have had images and all of that great stuff, but I think that we are excited enough to cause some fireworks for sure. So what are we doing today, Wayne? It's just an exciting day to be here, and so I'm trying to contain my year-end excitement. So I'll stop talking.
Stacy, we want to help folks, including ourselves, right? We want to take the medicine that we just deliver to others to help folks take a look at 2025, let it go, say goodbye, and then leap forward into creating some goals, dynamic goals, stretch goals, uncomfortable goals, but goals for 2025 that they can move towards. So we want to give folks an opportunity to kind of walk through today with us in the process.
Yes, so we are leaping forward into 2025 And so it's an exciting time to do so, just to have this conversation. Perfect timing, with our show airing on a Tuesday, the Tuesday that is New Year's Eve. We're just really excited to be here. What, Wayne, would you say is one thing you are looking forward to leaving behind in 2024?
Leaving behind, I'll tell you, the fear of entering new horizons as an
Mm.
entrepreneur that haunts me all the time because, as an entrepreneur, you test different waters and you're looking at what works, you're getting feedback, you fail a lot more than you succeed. I want to let folks know, people like, I'm going to diss the 9 to 5 and go work for myself. Well, this whole holiday, while some of you were off and getting paid, I worked. And so as an entrepreneur, I don't have the benefit of just saying it's a holiday, I'm closing shop. I work. And when I do take off, I have to create systems to have my systems work for me. But a lot of times there's this trepidation, this fear about trying
Mm.
something new because you don't know if it's going to actually manifest in profit or gain or it's going to work out for you. So I wanted, and it stopped me several times throughout the year, Stacy, that whole freeze and flight.
Yeah.
There, we talked about it. So I want to break through that, Stacy, and just take things on and go with it.
I love it, Wayne. I think that it's an important question for all of our listening audience and viewing audience to think about, right? What is that one thing you're leaving behind in 2024? Drop it in the comments or share a DM with Wayne or I, because it is really a critical question. And for me, one of the things I want to leave behind, notice I said one of the things, because there are a few things I want to leave behind in 2024. But one of the things I want to make sure I'm leaving behind is the negative narrative that tells me that there's no room for me, that there's no space for me in, whether it be in this coaching realm. There are a lot of coaches, right? But none of them are me. But I have to remind myself that none of them are me, and that the women I'm here to coach, right, are looking for me. And one of the lies that, I have told myself over time is that there's no room for me, right? And it comes from a long line of, life happenings. But that's one of the things that I'm looking to leave behind, is that lie that there's no room for me.
I love it. And in terms of letting go, Stacy, I like to say in the ebook and the course that I offer, and we'll talk about that later, there's a whole section on let go and prosper. And there are rituals to letting go. So when we talk about these false narratives, the barriers, the limiting beliefs, there are literally hundreds of forms to do. And, the church that I attend, they have a ritual right before New Year's called the burning bowl. You know what that is,
Mm.
Stacey?
Tell the people them about
Yeah.
it.
So just as we right now denoted one item or one thing that bothers us that we are going to let go for 2025, you literally would write down that thing or things, and there's a bowl that goes around, and you drop it in the bowl, right? Write it down, drop it in the bowl, and then outside we have a pretty secure and safe uh, area where the contents of the bowl is dropped. They're all dropped into this little pit, and we
Mm-hmm.
burn it.
Mm-hmm.
And we burn it. And as you burn it, you visualize just letting go and burning away the stuff you don't want, the trash of the year gone. So that's
Yeah.
one. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's one of the things that I've done in my practice is there's this special paper. So similar to the burning bowl, but it is really the special paper, and you get the opportunity to really not only reflect on what went well, because I think that that is an important part of the reflections process, but those negative thoughts, those things that didn't go well, and you feel like the habits, the beliefs are no longer serving you. You write them down on this paper, and then the paper itself is really designed to disintegrate in water. So there is this process of watching, right, witnessing the issues, the thoughts, the negativity dissipate, dissolve. And many have provided feedback that said like that it's just appreciating, right? Not only like you're saying, watching it burn, it is watching it dissolve. So to your point, there are many ways to, as you reflect on this year gone by, to really start to leave behind those issues, negative thoughts, those things that are no longer serving you, to leave those behind in 2024.
Yes. And we are charging the Dawson's household this year. Audrey and I, tomorrow, are going to be moving forward with a visioning exercise, a vision board exercise before our turn of the year. So we'll be doing this together tomorrow, planning out our vision for 2025. We're getting magazines together from family members, Wayne, Ebony, and Jet, even and dating ourselves.
I'm sorry, wait, you gotta pause. You have to pause right there. Did you just say Ebony and Jet magazines? Did you just say that?
Yeah, we have my sister-in-law has had a collection of that for years, and she found them as she was clearing her basement, her garage. And so we said, those are them out because we can use them. They're images of people of color. So what we're going to do with the vision board, and we have other magazines too, but what we're going to do with the vision board is, as we lay out where we want to go, we're actually going to put images, because images speak louder than words. So we're going to put images on this vision board. We're using full, poster boards, beautiful colors, pens and all that, Stacy. And then we'll place this in a place where we can see it regularly and check in with each other.
I love it. I'm apologies, everyone, but he said Ebony and Jet, and I just immediately had flashbacks to being a younger version of myself, and seeing those very magazines on the coffee table in my home. I do think it is important to think about, even as we are building that vision for 2025. And I love that you and your bride are going to be working on this vision board together. What a unifying experience, exercise. But to really remind our audience to think about, like, what went well in 2024 that you want to bring into 2025, right? It wasn't all bad. And I think, again, the podcast is a great example of that. We've had a blast, and our hope is that we've really been of service to those that have stumbled across, that have heard about, that have watched our podcast. And so it is also, what challenges did I face? What did they teach me? And how can I bring those lessons into 2025? And I think the planning, or the doing a vision board, will really help you guys, and anybody else thinking about doing a vision board, to start to break free from those things that are holding you back. Because as you allow yourself to vision without those barriers, you'll see like, okay, how can I get there? Oh, what is standing in my way? And how can I really begin to push myself beyond my fears, as you were talking about, Wayne?
Yeah. And you said it, Stacy, when we were talking about today's episode. You want to set goals for 2025 that makes you uncomfortable. You're in the comfort zone. It's not gonna push you to stretch. You've been there, done that in the comfort zone. Now, if you want to grow, if you want to have a growth mindset, if you want to progress, if 2025 is advancing in terms of history, and so should you. And if you're at midlife, you've done a lot of advancing already, but it doesn't stop there. So we're saying set big goals to move the needle. And as you do that, then push yourself. And there are ways to do that, Stacy, ways to do that to make sure that you're held accountable.
Yeah, I love it. And one thing that, you and I have the opportunity to do, and that we do, is to hold each other accountable, right? You really do want to set yourself up for success. And part of that success is not just writing your goal down, but it is sharing, right? That goal or those visions with someone you trust, or someone you trust, in a way that can really cheer you on and hold you accountable. I think it's such an important piece of that forward momentum, of that really taking 2025 by.
Yeah, one of the goals I share, if I may, Stacy, one of the goals is around personal wellness. And I'm in no means considered obese or overweight per se, but at midlife, there is that love handle thing, right? That little love handle going on. The wife says, keep it. It's good for whatever. But the truth of the matter is, she's doing an exercise right now in weight management, right? Where she is doing some work on what she envisions her goal to be. And I'm joining up. And one of the things that I'm doing is intermittent fasting, very strict with it. And it feels good. And in a very short time, I'm already seeing results. And it's only been 2 weeks, but I'm already seeing results. And it's important that when you set these goals, that you don't keep it in the dark. Get an accountability partner, or have a place of declaration, which means it's out there in the universe. Someone else knows, that can hold you accountable, not judge you and criticize you, but in a soft, kind manner, help to get you to the line.
I couldn't agree with you more. And you mentioned earlier that idea of setting one big goal that scares you, right? In a good way, but it makes you say, ooh, like, oh, it's exciting, but it's also a little scary. And you want to live full out. You want to play your biggest game in 2025. And one thing we often talk about is that idea of kind of the micro moves, or the steps to reach that goal. And really taking some time to think about, what is that? And asking yourself the question, right? Here's another question. If fear wasn't an option, what would I do in 2025? What would I pursue in 2025 if fear wasn't an option? Ooh, that's good.
I love that, Stacy. I love that. Yeah. I also would suggest to folk to put aside the "I can't afford it" excuse, right? There are so many excuses out there. Fear is the biggest I know, because a lot of times the fear is even working behind the scenes in the dark, unconscious, right? But it came, as you said, from stuff in the past that has accumulated, and it then informs us or misinforms us about our possibilities. And I think once you are able to be intentional and call it for what it is, call out fear, uncloak it, move it from the burning bush and bring it out to light. And I think once we're able to do that, and some of the fear that we have also is around money, again, what I call the Paul syndrome, it's just not possible for us. We don't have the ability, or we're not worthy. Move that away. Those are false beliefs, and go forth.
I agree. I couldn't agree with you more. And it really is those limitations. You and I have talked about abundance, or an abundance mindset, and I'm sure we'll talk about that again in 2025. It is looking at what you do have. And I was listening to one of my coaches this morning. One of my coaches has a podcast, and the idea of which she was talking around, my takeaway was, where you are right now is indeed the launch pad for where you want to be, right? So let's not look at where we are right now and do so with such a negative light, right? Or do so from this place of lack or fear. Let's look at it from with the abundance mindset, with the gratitude mindset, so that we are actually kind of using where we are right now as a launch pad to propel us into 2025 with the right mindset and with a plan to take action.
Yeah, mindset is key. Mindset allows you to apply the tool set that you have appropriately, because sometimes we have the wherewithal, we just don't know how to get it applied and start moving forward. And so that's all about mindset. One of the common things with people of success is they have a success growth mindset, right? Yeah. They don't necessarily have more education, even more money. They don't have more time. What they have is a growth mindset, recognizing that there is a strategy ahead to move forward and go for what they want, what they deserve, and then they achieve.
And you said earlier that you have failed, or maybe kind of fallen a little short of the original goal more than you've succeeded, right? But there's so much richness in there, and we cannot be afraid to fail, right? To fail forward, to fail in a way that we said, if I, maybe now I'll do it, and then this is the area that I'll tweak, or these are the words that I'll use, or this is the approach that I'll come with, to really try it again, to do so in a way that I'm using the failure as the next launch pad, right? To try it again. And you're absolutely right. One thing successful people don't do is give up.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's fodder in it. When you fail at something, if you quit and say that's it, then you have truly failed. But the idea is, as you look at this year and you start planning for the next, you want to take that information that you got as data, as feedback, to fuel your moving forward. So take that information. If that door was closed this year, then it means you probably have to go over, around, or through another means. But it's not simply to just stay helpless and give up on yourself. There are opportunities for each failure.
I agree. I love the way you just wrapped that up. There are opportunities for each failure. That was good stuff, Wayne. Good stuff. So what would you say is one thing you'll do to give yourself permission to live full out in 2025, Wayne? I'm just throwing questions at Wayne today.
Love it. Love it. Having grace is important. And I recognize, Stacy, that I have in the past been very hard on myself. I beat myself really hard. I'm up really, and this has been a fault where it's not going to be perfect. And I've allowed myself to beat myself up sometimes to just get the right lighting, to get the this. And I realized that it's better to just get it started and get it moving and get it done than to be perfect. So I'm going to give myself grace with the task and the goals that I set for myself in 2025. How about you, Stacey? What are some of the things that you are going to be doing differently to get across the finish line?
Yeah, I like to give myself grace. I think I will take it a step further for me, and I will say that to live full out in 2025, I will forgive myself for any inaction that I may have identified in 2024. There are things that I feel like now, you should, get that post out there. You should have set this up, or, you should have done these things. And I think I will forgive myself for not doing maybe, everything the way I thought it should have been done. And I will also make sure that I identify more immediately any opportunity to forgive anyone, so that that unforgiveness is not holding me back in any way. So my kind of thing is all around forgiveness of self and forgiveness of others.
Yeah. Stacy, this year, and I'm going to suggest and ask as a charge call to our listening audience to find a word or phrase that's going to be our mantra to drive us through the year 2025. And for me, I'm going to use the word clarity. I am praying and asking for clarity, discernment for clarity in what I do. Want to be clear in my communication, very clear in terms of my visioning, very clear in the path I must take, because there's so many things that this year I recognize I got myself involved in, that sometimes the water in front of me became murky and obscure, not enough clarity. I am going to say no more often to be able to have clarity. So Stacy, what would be your word or phrase, your mantra for next year?
Oh, I love it that he was like, okay, I'll give you a little bit of your medicine and I will just toss a question your way. I'm also a word of the year person. One thing I do want to do this year in 2025 rather is be more intentional about the practice, the engagement of my word. And right now I'm actually praying between, I think, two words. One is create, and the other word is rest. And both of them have both practical as well as spiritual aspects to them. And I don't know if I'm going to go with both. Create opportunities for resting in the Lord, resting in, in the fact that I have what I need, or if I'm going to focus more so on creating space in my life for the things that I love, creating opportunities to engage more women just in meaningful conversations. I miss that. I think that, that's an important part of, even before you get to a coaching relationship, creating the space for meaningful conversations. So as you can see, I can really go on and on about rest and create, either wherever or whichever, or if I decide on both. I want to make sure that I'm intentionally throughout the year engaging with those words. And like you're saying, when you talked about the vision board, that it would be large enough, right? To, as the word would say, right? You would write the vision, you would make it plain so that those running by could see it, right? That those going by can see it. And you're going to be reminding yourself of your vision throughout the year. And I want to be reminding myself of how I'm engaging in my word or words of the year throughout the year.
And Stacy, if I can pitch, you could use both, because as we learn in the Bible and in other great books in terms of their teaching, after creation was rest. So that's about balance.
Ooh,
right?
That's good. That's good, Wayne. That's good. That'll preach right there. That was good. That was good. Yeah.
So that's balance. And so as we move into 2025, the charge to you, listening audience and viewing audience, is to create your one word or phrase that's going to drive, it's going to be the theme of your year. Reminding yourself. Get that accountability. And again, you want to make sure you don't have toxic, negative people around you when you're looking for a cheering committee. And find balance as you create. Give yourself grace to also rest.
Yes, I love those takeaways. And as we are in this beautiful season of midlife, we want to remind our fellowship that you have everything you need. You have the wisdom, the strength, the courage, the resilience, the life's experiences to move forward in a way that you feel confident in your ability to take 2025 by storm. Certainly, we want to wish our audience a wonderful, happy, tremendously blessed 2025. We can't tell you how much your presence means to us, and know that Wayne and I are ready to take 2025 by storm.
Stacy, let's show our friends and well-wishers how to connect with us.
Absolutely.
And also, if you don't mind, I want to just offer the offering that I'm offering, as it were, this season at a great discount, which is a course. So that's how you connect with Coach Stacy.
So let's talk about your course, Wayne. Breaking Free, Discover Your Purpose, Power, and Prosperity in Midlife. We want to be sure that we are offering these gifts to you.
Absolutely. And it's a bundle. So they're getting, along with that, a free call with me so we can look if it's a good fit to do deeper work and accelerate the 7 principles that I teach in this course around breaking free and living to purpose with prosperity and profits and all that stuff. Talking about defining potential, creating habits, the law of attraction and manifestation. And so there are exercises, Stacy, for folks to do. And we add in the bundle some freebies at a discount right now, 79% discount. So it's a savings. You're getting over on me, so to speak, and all there for you to have.
It's that year-end shopping. Certainly. You can reach me at thestacymlewis.com. Feel free to drop me a DM, whether it be on LinkedIn or Facebook. But know that I'm here cheering you on all the time.
And as they say, I'll see you at the top. Bye. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
And there you have it, folks. This week's episode of the Midlife Revolution Unleashed. Hey, we truly appreciate your spending this time in this space with us. Join us next week at the same time as we dive into relevant topics and present solutions to spark new thinking and empower your midlife journey.
And don't forget, if you enjoyed today's episode, let us know in the comments and share it with others. And of course, remember to subscribe, share, like, hit that notification bell. You are the Midlife Revolution Unleashed. I'm Coach Stacy, and I'm cheering you on.
And I'm Coach Wayne, and I'll see you at the top.